as you mentioned, I love baseball, I love all sports, and wherever I go I try to see a baseball match, so I've seen quite a few here in Korea. But the real reason I've come down to Changwon for this NC Dinos game has been because of the opening of this stadium here in Changwon. And as you may well know, the design of this stadium was prepared by Australian architects. So I wanted to really look at the stadium and see how Australian ingenuity and design came to fruition and to realisation here in Changwon. I'm impressed and amazed with the design of this stadium. It really is spectacular. As anybody who comes to this stadium can see, it's very different from a usual stadium design. It's not closed off like most stadiums, but it seems like it's open and integrated with the rest of the environment. And I think they would be impressed with how this has been implemented, their idea of being open to the people, open to the environment, and creating a spectacular stadium. So I'm sure they'd be proud of what they've seen. But I'm more interested in what the Changwon people would think of the stadium. No doubt I'll get to see it when I throw the first pitch and watch the baseball game tonight. I first came to Changwon 20 years ago when I was working as third secretary of the Australian Embassy from 95 to 97. I remember a wonderful city, but certainly not the level of economic development that I see right now. I remember taking the train to Busan and then taking a bus from Busan across to Changwon. That took about 6 hours, 7 hours. But now I see there's a KTX line straight to Changwon, which only takes a couple of hours. The other link also now that I remember is that Changwon is the first planned city in Korea. So I was always impressed with the layout of Changwon, how orderly it is, the grid pattern and the wide open streets. On the way from Gwangju to Changwon, I stopped by the memorial for the 120th anniversary to commemorate the missionaries that first came to Korea. The first Australian missionary that came to Korea was Henry Davies, and this memorial was paying homage to commemorating his achievements in coming to Korea and establishing the first missionaries here. It was quite incredible because I knew of quite a few other missionaries, but I wasn't aware of this memorial, and I just found it on the way coming to Changwon today. So clearly the case that Changwon and Australia has had a long history of contact, starting from the first missionaries that came. Certainly, I think there are sister city relationships. I see many Australians coming to Korea, but also here to Changwon, especially in the area of education. I also know of Australian musicians and young Australians that come here for the K-pop World Championships every year. But in the economic area as well, and trade, certainly Australian companies are very interested in renewable energy. And I know that as Korea starts looking at things such as offshore wind and solar, that there'll be many Australian companies looking at possible areas of collaboration in that field. But not just Changwon, but the other area of great economic cooperation recently has been Australian LNG floating platforms that were built in the shipyards of Koje. And those platforms were built, and I was privileged to go to the opening ceremonies the last couple of years. And one of the ships, Prelude, is the biggest floating ship in the world. And it's now off the northwest coast of Australia processing LNG that is being exported back to Korea and the rest of Asia. Certainly, I think I noticed that President Moon visited Changwon early this year to launch the first hydrogen-powered buses to be deployed here in Korea. And I know that Korea is now looking forward to a hydrogen economy and develop plans to prepare for the future. Australia has been a traditional energy partner for Korea, providing all the raw materials that has allowed Korea to grow spectacularly. But Australia is also looking at the hydrogen economy and looking how we can fit into the global supply chain, especially partnering with Korea to provide the hydrogen that it needs to develop its hydrogen economy. The Australian government is going to be launching by the end of this year a national hydrogen roadmap as to how we can fit into the global hydrogen supply chain. And I know that one of the key areas of cooperation that are developing between our two business communities is in the area of hydrogen. So I see a bright future for 창원's connections with Australia in the area of hydrogen economy. I've already done the Tongyong triathlon. I did it last year. I was part of a team that did it in relay. So two friends of mine and I joined, and so I did the run leg, and my other friends did the swim and cycling leg. And I'm proud to say that of the team competition, our team came third. So I'm committed to doing sports throughout Korea, and I've, as I mentioned, been down here in Gyeongnam to do the Tongyong triathlon.
저희 신문사가 마라톤 행사가 있습니다.
Oh, 있어요?
네. 시간이
Is that a formal invitation? 내년 계획 어떻게 되는지 잘 모르겠지만 할 수 있으면 하겠습니다. Yes, of course, if I'm invited, I'd love to come, but I'm trying to do marathons throughout Korea, and I'd love to come here and run here in Changwon as well.
넥스트 인터뷰는 이제 달리면서
Look forward to it. Will you be running with me?
그러면 지금부터 운동을 하겠습니다. 네.
It's a pleasure to be here at Insidone Stadium in Changwon. I'm looking forward to the game tonight. I'm looking forward to further developing and strengthening Australia's contacts with Changwon and the people. And hopefully the people of Changwon will be able to develop their own individual links with Australia, either by going there for education or for holidays or for working holiday purposes. It's wonderful to be here in Changwon.